What if the person you overlooked every day could shatter everything you've worked for? At Blackwood Consulting, the executives in their perfectly tailored suits walked with unwavering confidence, while cleaners like Olivia Mitchell remained invisible, unnoticed by those in power. Soon, those at the top would learn the devastating cost of underestimating those they deemed insignificant. If you're intrigued by stories of justice and redemption, make sure to subscribe and join us for this compelling journey. In the heart of Boston, nestled between gleaming glass skyscrapers and historic brownstones, stood Blackwood Consulting, a powerhouse renowned for transforming struggling tech startups into industry giants. The firm's reputation for delivering seven-figure deals attracted the brightest minds in the industry, but within these pristine walls, a stark divide existed. While executives commanded attention in their corner offices, the support staff, from maintenance to administration, faded into the background, treated as mere afterthoughts in the company's grand machine. Olivia Mitchell was one of those overlooked employees, though her story was anything but ordinary. Each morning, she arrived before sunrise, wearing the standard gray uniform that marked her as part of the cleaning staff. With her dark hair pulled back in a practical bun and her cleaning cart trailing behind her, she seemed to blend into the shadows of the corridors. To the management team, she was invisible, just another faceless employee performing tasks they considered beneath them. But what no one realized was that Olivia Mitchell wasn't just a janitor. She was the founder and majority shareholder of Blackwood Consulting. Years ago, after establishing the firm as a successful enterprise, Olivia had handed over daily operations to her brother Marcus Mitchell, who became the official CEO. Personal health challenges had forced her to step back, but she never truly left. Instead, she chose to observe from the sidelines, watching as her carefully built empire evolved. Now, after years of quiet observation, she was ready to evaluate whether the company she had built still upheld the principles of integrity she had instilled at its foundation. The signs of corruption were becoming increasingly clear, but she couldn't reveal herself, not yet. She needed to understand exactly how deep the rot had spread. Every day, Olivia followed the same methodical routine. She arrived at 5 a.m., before the office hummed with activity, and began her rounds through the 30-story building. As she moved through the space, wiping down surfaces and emptying waste baskets, she observed the subtle dynamics that played out in every corner. The luxurious executive suites and sprawling conference rooms stood in sharp contrast to her humble cleaning cart. But it was precisely this invisibility that allowed her to witness the true nature of those in power. Olivia's attention often fell on Nathan Pierce, the acting CEO of Blackwood Consulting, a man who seemed to wear arrogance like his custom Italian suits. Nathan carried himself with an air of untouchable superiority. Tall, conventionally handsome, and always impeccably dressed, he treated everyone below the executive level with thinly veiled contempt. Whether addressing a junior consultant or a member of the maintenance staff, his message was clear: they were beneath him. If you're just joining us on this journey of corporate intrigue and justice, make sure to subscribe to catch every moment of this gripping tale. Then there was Victoria Hayes, the chief strategy officer, who matched Nathan's superiority complex with her own brand of calculated disdain. Victoria viewed the support staff as mere obstacles in her path to greater power, her casual remarks about the help dripping with barely concealed contempt. One morning, as Olivia swept the hallway outside their offices, she overheard a conversation that made her blood run cold. Victoria's voice carried through the partially open door, both executives unaware of their silent observer. "Nathan, we need to discuss the overhead costs," Victoria said, her tone sharp with distaste. "The cleaning staff alone is costing us a fortune, and frankly, the quality of their work is embarrassing. For a firm of our caliber, it's unacceptable." Nathan's laugh was cold, devoid of humor. "They should be grateful they even have jobs here. It's not like they have the skills for anything else. We can always replace them with a cheaper service." Olivia's hand tightened around her broom handle, her knuckles white with tension. She had suspected this kind of attitude existed, but hearing it stated so brazenly struck deep. The company she had built through years of dedication had fallen into the hands of people who saw no value in human dignity. As days turned into weeks, Olivia watched with growing concern as Nathan's behavior became increasingly problematic. His treatment of junior staff bordered on psychological abuse. Public humiliation was his weapon of choice, wielded with precision to maintain his perceived dominance. But what truly set alarm bells ringing was how his attention began to focus on her. At first, the changes were subtle, lingering glances that made her skin crawl, unnecessary visits to areas he knew she would be cleaning. Soon, his actions grew bolder, more deliberate. One morning, as Olivia cleaned the executive break room, Nathan entered, deliberately spilling his coffee on the floor she had just mopped. "Oops," he smirked, eyes traveling over her form with predatory intent. "Looks like you'll have to do that again. You know, someone with your attributes could be doing so much more than pushing a mop." Olivia felt her stomach turn, but kept her expression neutral. "The floor will be clean again shortly, Mr. Pierce," she replied, her voice steady despite the rage building inside her. "Call me Nathan," he insisted, stepping closer. "I could help you advance here, Olivia. Someone like you shouldn't be wasting their potential. All you need to do is be agreeable." The implication in his words was clear, and it took every ounce of Olivia's self-control not to reveal herself then and there. Instead, she focused on her task, knowing that timing would be everything. The turning point came on a rain-soaked evening in late October. Most employees had left for the day, leaving the building eerily quiet. Olivia was finishing her final rounds when Nathan cornered her in the dimly lit executive parking garage. The air grew thick with tension as he blocked her path to the elevator, his expensive cologne overwhelming in the confined space. "Olivia," he purred, his voice carrying a dangerous edge. "You've been avoiding our little discussions lately. That's not very appreciative, considering the opportunities I'm offering you." He moved closer, forcing her to step back against a concrete pillar. "You know, with one word from me, you could lose everything. In this economy, who do you think would hire someone like you?" The fluorescent lights flickered above them, casting harsh shadows across his face. "But I'm a reasonable man," he continued, placing his hand on the pillar beside her head. "Play your cards right, and you could have an office up there instead of pushing a mop down here. Think about it, no more cleaning other people's messes, no more being invisible." If you're captivated by this moment of confrontation, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that explore the complex dynamics of power and justice. Lightning flashed through the garage windows as Olivia finally lifted her gaze to meet his. Something in her expression made Nathan falter. Gone was the submissive cleaner, replaced by something harder, colder. "You're right about one thing, Nathan," she said, her voice quiet but steel-edged. "I won't be pushing a mop much longer." Nathan's confidence wavered for the first time. "What are you talking about?" "Tomorrow morning, you'll find out exactly who I am," Olivia replied, ducking under his arm. "And believe me, you'll wish you had treated everyone in this building with more respect." The next morning, Blackwood Consulting's offices buzzed with unusual energy. At precisely 9 a.m., Olivia strode through the lobby, transformed. Gone was the gray uniform, replaced by a tailored charcoal suit that radiated authority. Her hair, usually hidden under a cleaning cap, now fell in elegant waves past her shoulders. The same employees who had walked past her for months now stopped and stared, recognition slowly dawning on their faces. She headed straight for the main conference room, where Nathan and Victoria were leading the weekly executive meeting. Her brother Marcus sat quietly at the end of the table, a slight smile playing at his lips. As Olivia pushed open the glass doors, the room fell silent. Nathan's face contorted in confusion. "What is the meaning of this?" "Security." He started to rise, but Marcus cleared his throat. "I wouldn't do that if I were you, Nathan," Marcus said calmly. "Everyone, I'd like you to meet Olivia Mitchell, the founder and majority owner of Blackwood Consulting." The color drained from Nathan's face as the implications hit him. Victoria's coffee cup clattered against its saucer, dark liquid spilling across the polished table. For a moment, no one breathed. This is impossible," Nathan stammered, his usual confidence evaporating. "You're the janitor. You can't be." "Can't I?" Olivia's voice cut through the room like ice. "I built this company from nothing, Mr. Pierce. While you were busy abusing your position and harassing employees, I was watching, documenting, learning exactly how far you'd fallen. Your time at Blackwood Consulting is over, Nathan," Olivia continued, her voice unwavering. "Security isn't coming to remove me. They're here for you." As if on cue, 2 security officers entered the conference room, and they've already been briefed about your pattern of harassment and abuse of power. Nathan's face flushed crimson as he desperately looked around the room for allies, finding none. "You can't do this," he sputtered, his composure completely shattered. "I've doubled the company's profits. I've made this firm what it is today." "At what cost?" Olivia's question hung in the air. "By creating a culture of fear, by treating dedicated employees like they're disposable, by using your position to harass and intimidate." She placed a thick folder on the table. "Everything is documented here, every incident, every complaint, every example of misconduct. You can leave quietly now, or we can make this very public. Your choice." If you're riveted by this moment of justice, take a second to subscribe. There are more compelling stories waiting to be told. Victoria tried to interject. "Olivia, surely we can discuss this rationally. The company's success under our leadership is over," Olivia finished firmly. "You're both terminated, effective immediately. The legal team will be in touch regarding the harassment charges." As security escorted Nathan and Victoria from the building, Olivia turned to address the remaining employees who had gathered outside the conference room. "For too long, this company has lost its way. Blackwood Consulting was built on principles of innovation, respect, and integrity. Today, we return to those values." In the weeks that followed, Blackwood Consulting underwent a transformation. Olivia implemented sweeping changes, promoting those who had shown integrity despite pressure from above. The toxic culture that had infected the company began to heal, replaced by an environment of collaboration and mutual respect. 1 month later, Olivia sat in her office, the same one Nathan had once occupied, watching the sunset paint the Boston skyline in shades of gold. Her phone buzzed with a message from Marcus. "The quarterly reports are in. Employee satisfaction up 60%. Turns out treating people with dignity is good for business." Olivia smiled, remembering her days pushing a cleaning cart through these same halls. The experience had taught her something valuable. True power isn't about authority or control. It's about responsibility and respect. Sometimes the most important perspective comes from the ground up. As she stood to leave for the day, she passed Maria, one of the cleaning staff, in the hallway. "Good evening, Miss Mitchell," Maria said with a warm smile. "Good evening, Maria," Olivia replied, stopping to chat. "How's your son's college application coming along?" Because at Blackwood Consulting, no one was invisible anymore. If you've enjoyed this story of justice and redemption, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more compelling narratives that remind us that karma always finds its way back. Remember, in life as in business, true success isn't measured by profit margins alone, but by the lives we touch and the dignity we preserve along the way.